Good evening, I am your host, Jack Remington of Jack Remington Political Analyst. Today's video is my promise of a response or versus to other YouTubers, which is very uncharacteristic of me to do so, but I must expose them for the frauds that they are. How this started on the YouTube feed for What's Up Next, the Q line, it's very effective. I saw a video and it's titled Destruction After Los Angeles Riots, in parentheses, Beverly Hills / Hollywood, end of parentheses. The creator is Will Collete. He has 4.3 thousand subscribers. I figured, well, he's got 4,000 some subscribers, he must be good, or so I thought. So after further review, I watched that video, and he actually did an okay job. He's on a skateboard with his GoPro camera, whatever equipment he does have decent equipment. He's trying to make a long-term thing. He wants to do YouTube, or as far as I know. I figured, okay, well, he must be okay. Should I follow this guy or not? Then I saw his next video. He's got his very next video I watched is called Don't Know What to Say About Black Lives Matter. Watch this. So he's on it, and he brings his friend. His friend is DeVante. I'm not sure I'm not saying his name right. And I can only watch 1:55 before I finally stopped.
Today I wanted to bring on a close friend of mine so we can talk a little more about what's going on. His name is DeVante. He and I have known each other for a long time. We've actually served together, and now we both live in Los Angeles. We are both chasing that YouTube dream and trying to create content together. And I wanted to bring him back to my YouTube channel so he can kind of speak on everything that's going on. This is going to be kind of an open conversation, so keep in mind that anything we say is just very fluid. Try not to take any of it out of context. If you do drop any kind of comment, please take a second, just take a breath, and make sure you do it from a place of love, because that's the only way that we're going to make any progress here. Okay, and with that said, DeVante, who everyone knows as Desh. You speak. What would be your advice to people like me who just a few days ago want to be able to say something, are on the same page as you, but don't know what to say?
I would say that you really can't tell people how to express their pain, and the way that they facilitate sadness and anger and frustration is completely on them. This isn't the first time that this has happened. We've had the Watts riots, we've had Rodney King riots, we had the riots in 2015, and now we have this. People are sick of it. Just understand their pain. We're all human. Just try to realize that all these people in the streets right now, like, they're human. They are just like you, and they are just very, very frustrated, and they don't know what else to do. If anything, just try to be human and understand where they're coming from.
Instead of how about this? Instead of giving me or anyone advice on what to say, I
posted a lengthy response. What caused me to post his response was DeVante saying, well, they were rioting and they did destroy some property, but they don't know what else to do. I thought, what?
Just try to realize that all these people in the streets right now, like, they're human. They are just like you, and they are just very, very frustrated, and they don't know what else to do. If anything, just try to be human and understand where they're coming from.
I should have researched further, but I just could not contain myself anymore. And so here's the post, and it's a live screen capture of my post getting deleted the first time ever on YouTube. I've had posts deleted by other creators before, but I never had it done so quickly. So this guy this Will Collete, who has another video saying how he tries to cram all this with one full-time job. He'd hang himself if he had my schedule with 2 jobs and trying to keep a family and the commutes I have to drive. He'd hang himself. But I'm going to read verbatim what my response was. Jack Remington, 1 second ago. I quit watching after 1 minute 55 seconds. You both never had your butts kicked by inner city kids when you were a kid in a minority-dominated school. You never had an illegal alien crash behind your vehicle and then run off. No insurance. You never had minorities not wait on you in food places and stores until they absolutely had to do their jobs. You never been called racist, cracker, slave trader, etc. You never had Jewish parents tell you that you could not date their Jewish daughter because you were a Gentile. I could go on, but the person above I am describing is me. 100%. Your, quote, peaceful protesters rioting and destroying property, then, quote, they don't know what else to do, end quote, is a bunch of bullshit. They don't have the sense to wait out the wheels of justice? Yes, I'm talking about your martyr, George Floyd. First off, the Hennepin County coroner got the first autopsy right. George Floyd died because of fentanyl and other illegal drugs in his system, as well as the COVID-19 infection / symptoms. Floyd died over an hour after being transported to that hospital. The DA of Hennepin County was drafting charges as the Instagram fake book accounts made the cell video viral. No, they could not wait. That cuck Mayor Jacob Fry of Minneapolis made things worse with his stay-up-all-night press conference. Then the rioting began. Not that I would defend that bad cop. I am not defending him, but the war in America started because of this criminal getting the cops calling him again. His previous episode with the cops is that home invasion in Houston, Texas, where his associate pistol whipped a 7-month pregnant woman, and supposedly your martyr, George Floyd, put the nose of his gun on her belly to get her to give him what little money she had left. That infuriated me when I found out that crucial piece of information about the left's martyr, George Floyd. I won't watch anymore to see if you two clowns have religious beliefs. When I first moved to California, I lived in Beverly Hills for 2 years, and I loved every second of it. Pray to your whatever God that I cannot scam my way or get elected, because I would jettison every do-gooder right out of this country, one cargo cruise ship at a time. No attorneys, no habeas corpus. I would banish them all. No more illegal aliens, deport them all. Criminals, too many, build more prisons. Riots after all that, do what China, Russia, Singapore, and Malaysia does. They shoot to kill. Now you know why there are no destructive riots in those countries like this shit here in America. Normally I back the YouTube creators, but the bullshit ones gotta go. If you are that clueless, be gone and find something else to do. Like learn your history. I have no clue how you built up 4,000 plus subscribers, but they all must be clueless like you. Trump 2020. I posted it, and I went to activate my Camtasia screenshot application in my software to start to capture the post, and it was already gone. I mean, it poofed right as I was copying it. So the Camtasia couldn't record it live on his site. So I posted it again, he deleted it again. Then I posted 3 more comments like, why are you deleting my comments? I thought you wanted a discussion. This Will Collete, he wants you to have the discussion from his area of love. Okay, this is what he says. And I got the screenshots for this. Will Collete replied, I erase comments that come from a place of hate. You weren't looking for a discussion, you were looking for a reaction. Expose wherever you want. I love extra views. So I made another post. He finally left the last one up, to his credit. But I think it's because he knows I wasn't going to give up. A few more minutes, Will Collete replied, the more Jack comments, the more free engagement my video gets. So I waited a few days to see how many more comments for a video that's got this many, that's a couple thousand views. He only had 37 comments the day I had my first screenshot. He now has up to 46, which is an awful low number. I got more comments on my videos, and I have 26 subscribers. He's got 4.3 thousand subscribers. He should have a couple hundred minimum comments on his thread. So that tells me he's deleting other people's comments too, so it's not just me. And he's supposed to be a much more superior YouTuber than me, but the evidence is showing out that may not be the case. So I am responding, and I'll deal with his comment, his first one about the coming from a place of love and coming from a place of hate. I'm going to save it for last. So I'm going to talk about his friend now. I'm going to talk about his friend, his first time at a yacht party. I mean, he's a young man. I'm sure he wants to have fun. We get all that. We understand. I was young once. And early in the video, he talks about getting on the yacht, and he's had the yacht owners and the workers or the crewmen agree to let him run his drone for some footage for his drone. And he lost the drone. The drone somehow crashed, and I kind of felt bad for the guy for a moment.
I did lose my drone within like 10 minutes of getting on the boat. That kind of sucked. One of the dudes piloting the ship he's like, if you launch it off the back, I'll hold it for you, and then you can just fly, and if you need us to stop, we'll stop. I was like, sick. He's like, yeah, I have some experience with drones, so no worries. I'm like, great, dude, all right, cool. Let's do it then. So we go to the back of the yacht. He's holding my drone, and I'm like, are you ready? And he's like, yes. So I go to start the drone, and as soon as it goes, zzz, all the motors hadn't even started yet. And he kind of did this thing, and it shot right into the water. It didn't even go up. It was like,
no! God, please, no! No!
To infinity.
But then he goes on to say that there's 40 million, I'm paraphrasing him, he says there's approximately 40 million black Americans in this country, and the cops and white people are all out to get them all. He's making it sound like that they can't look out the window, they can't leave their doors, they can't go on the streets without being attacked by white people. That's how he makes it sound. He even has a woman, he says it's his mother, call him on the phone with the voice graphics. Are you okay, son? Where are you at? Where are you going? I'm okay, Mom. Don't worry. I mean, what a ham.
So Trevor Noah puts it best when he talks about the societal contract that we all agree to. Coming to this world, we all agree on common rules, practices, and ideals, and that's kind of what makes up our society. When you're day by day, your contract is being ripped up in front of you, and you see your own people being murdered. You don't feel safe, you don't feel comfortable, you don't feel like you can go on a run or go to the store or even be asleep in your own bed.
Oh yeah, you need to get that.
Hey Ma, you okay?
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm shooting a YouTube video with Will in my living room. Okay. Well, I'm safe. Sorry that I didn't pick up.
Okay. Stay home, okay?
Alright, I will.
Something tells me you're not gonna stay home. Something tells me you're not gonna stay home.
That sucks, dude.
Yeah.
Like, how many white people have to deal with that? You know? Like, their moms, she probably thought I was dead just now. And this can be off camera, but, like, I've watched, like, black families, like, broken. Like, I've seen that shit. Like, with my own eyes, I've seen, like, police brutality. And I'm just like, holy shit. Like, I've been on the receiving end of, like legitimate racism. And you don't want to say the wrong thing, so... Like,
But it's okay if you do, because if you're gonna listen and adjust and learn from it, then you really can't say the wrong thing.
Right.
Okay, so there are two separate groups of people that until a few days ago I didn't even know were considered two separate groups of people, and that is protesters and rioters. So can you go into detail about why those are two different groups?
For sure. I would say, me personally, I've been in the streets, I've been protesting. Every time I've done it, there's come a time when our peaceful protesting has been met with very brutal and violent reaction from the police, to the point where, like, you start to get shoved, you start to get shot with rubber bullets, and that's typically when things have started to escalate into the rioting and the fires.
Right.
I can't tell anyone what to say, but I think once you have that level of compassion and empathy for the people that are going through this, it'll just come naturally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And for some reason, if you don't articulate it in a positive way, and you're reminded why, maybe in the comments, not being so quick to justify your position or what you said or anything like that, but just be ready to listen to that too. I mean, you kind of just explained it there. There's this contract that we all signed, and some people are ripping it up.
Our education, our basic human rights, that's what society is supposed to consist of. So when, all these black people are watching their people get murdered and slaughtered without consequence, that is basically people ripping that contract up in front of their eyes every single day. Where's the motivation to abide by it? Where's the motivation to keep going on with this contract when the powers that be aren't even covering their end? At this point, we have so much access to technology and information, you can't really hide things anymore. So people are starting to see that contract being ripped up more and more and more and more frequently. And the bowling point was George Floyd. George Floyd isn't the reason this is happening.
Right.
He was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Exactly, yeah.
Everything boiled over, and that is what we're seeing. And I'll say this is a great story, because I was peacefully protesting. I had this shirt on, no peace, no justice. I'm just Black Lives Matter. I had 3 cops point guns in my face. It's a surreal thing. I was in the military, so I'm used to weaponry, and that was like, I can't even explain how I felt in that moment. I was so mad. And I just remember like yelling like, this is why we're here. They started firing rounds at people. The girl next to me got shot. Everyone's running. Friend got shot in the back. I got shot. And that's when things started to escalate. That's when the fire started to get big. That's when people started throwing things at cops and shooting fireworks, flare guns, And that's when it turned into a war zone in Hollywood, a real war zone. And, you know, people are surprised by it. Right in front of our eyes, the contract ripped again. So what would you do? What would you do? If you were in this position your entire life, watching the societal contract be torn to pieces day by day, people just want to be heard. People just want to feel safe.
I think we're going to try to upload more videos like this on my channel. We're going to put just a little pause on the car content for now. Make sure you do follow Desh because he is a YouTuber as well and he makes some fantastic content.
Please, if you care about brown people, minorities, black people, and me, just try to stick with it.
Share this with somebody, drop a comment. If you do, make sure you take a deep breath and make something out of love, and we'll catch you at the next video. Peace.
To answer Will Colette's problem with me coming from a place of hate, he is wrong. I am posting from a place of love. I love my country, okay, and I hate what you guys and you clowns are doing to it, okay, all because of your martyr, George Floyd, okay, and plus other reasons that are undecipherable and defy logic. So you don't want open dialogue. You just want what you want to hear, and you want people to follow you blindly, like David Koresh of the Waco incident, Jim Jones of Jonestown, and that old guy, follow me, the guys that killed themselves, that space cadet guy from the late 1980s. That's what you're after. You want blindless, mindless followers like zombies. And you got 4.3 thousand subscribers, so you're on your way. But I answered your question. I stated my case, and now you can be gone.